Breaking news for the dog pound. Shedeur Sanders is feeling the heat after Deshaun Watson's latest moves, and it's getting intense in the quarterback race. Meanwhile, Browns' Pro Bowl QB, son of a Cowboys Hall of Famer, is a trade candidate. Plus, Demetric Felton Jr. is back, this time in a coaching role. Buckle up, Browns Nation, we're diving deep into the drama. The Cleveland Browns aren't done adding to their staff, and the recent return of a former running back is sparking some serious buzz. Demetric Felton Jr. is coming back, but this time in a coaching role. It's a move that shows the Browns are focused on building a strong support system around their players, especially as the quarterback drama heats up. Felton's journey with the Browns has had its ups and downs, but his return signifies the team's commitment to nurturing talent and creating a winning culture. The team's management understands that adding fresh voices and perspectives in coaching roles can make a real difference on and off the field. It's not just about what happens during the game, it's about fostering the right environment for growth, and Felton's knowledge from his playing days is invaluable. My take: when the team says it out loud, it's usually messaging as much as information. Bringing in someone like Felton could be the shot in the arm the roster needs, especially with young players looking to solidify their spots. This strategy also hints at the seriousness with which the Browns are approaching this offseason. As training camps ramp up and the competition for positions gets fierce, having someone with first-hand experience to guide the next generation is crucial. It's all about that dog-pound mentality, grit, hustle, and determination to rise above past shadows. This isn't just another off-season change, it's part of a broader vision for the team's future. Felton's familiarity with the organization could bridge the gap between experience and the new blood coming into the squad, making it easier to adapt and thrive in this competitive environment. In a season where every game counts, having the right support can turn a struggling player into a breakout star. As the stakes get higher, let's keep an eye on how these behind-the-scenes moves might shape the roster. Days after the quarterback whirlwind kicked into high gear, a former tight end has found a new home, stirring thoughts about what could have been. After nearly 20 QBs later in this franchise's purgatory, it seems the latest twist might have implications for future players, especially for those who lived through the ups and downs of this era. A former first-round pick is now a member of a rival squad, leaving fans scratching their heads. It's strange, really, that he was on the market this long. Not many expected him to still be available as we hit the middle of May. His departure raises questions about the direction the organization is taking and whether they're truly committed to building a solid foundation around current aspirations. With the QB situation already ruffled, seeing a player with his talent slip away feels like another blow in a long history of questionable judgment calls. The player in question will join a promising tight end group that includes last year's rising star, who certainly has the potential to create mismatches and bolster the offense. The truth is, injuries are where a season quietly flips, so this is worth tracking closely. Those familiar with the team dynamics know just how pivotal the tight end position can be, often becoming a safety net for the QB when the pockets start to collapse. Let's hope that adds fuel to the fire for the current roster, especially as competition heats up for spots leading into training camps. How these changes will ultimately affect the chemistry on the field remains to be seen, but let's not forget, every loss and gain ripples through the locker room, and this one certainly does. Cleveland Browns fans, the tension is real as we inch closer to the 2026-27 season. Questions are swirling, and the biggest one on everyone's mind is, who's going to stand behind center for our beloved team? With Shedeur Sanders facing serious heat from Deshaun Watson's latest moves, the quarterback race is under a magnifying glass, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Let's be honest here, the Browns have options, but uncertainty looms. Fansided's Winston Wilcox threw out a bold take, suggesting that trading our 24-year-old Pro Bowl QB could simplify the situation. That's right, the son of a legendary retired player now stands as a prime trade candidate. You heard me? Just when we thought the drama couldn't get any thicker, this bombshell hits. The intrigue around Sanders continues to grow, especially when your future potential can be traded away as easily as a card from a deck. With so much riding on the arms of our quarterbacks, it's hard not to feel the weight of past errors clouding our present. Decisions that have haunted this franchise for years seem to dangle over us like a storm cloud. We've seen the consequences of poor judgment calls before, and this could be another chapter in that saga. The question remains, if the Browns decide to move on from Sanders, what does that say about their confidence in him? Does that signal a shift in aims for the franchise or just another misstep? As we roll into the offseason and training camps approach, every move is scrutinized. The depth chart is going to change rapidly, and I'm here for it. Will Shedeur Sanders rise to the occasion, or are we looking at yet another chapter in the Browns' long history of quarterback instability? It's tough to shake off that feeling of anticipation tinged with caution. The clock is ticking, and answers are needed, a clarity that would finally bring some calm to this chaotic narrative. The dog pound deserves to see some stability after years of uncertainty and head-scratching decisions. So, as the offseason unfolds with all its twists and turns, we'll be keeping a close-eye on how these quarterback dynamics shape the team's future. Shedeur Sanders is feeling the heat more than ever as the pressure mounts in Cleveland. Just when it seemed he'd found his footing with the new offensive coordinator Todd Monken, the arrival of Deshaun Watson has thrown a wrench into the works. Monken and Sanders appeared to be hitting it off, but that's rarely enough to fend off the chaos that comes with a full-blown quarterback competition. This isn't just about talent, it's about navigating the murky waters of expectations and the weight of a franchise longing for stability. Recently, Sanders posted a cryptic message that has many within the dog pound wondering what's going on in his head. The ambiguity of his words may be a reflection of the intense situation he's in, fighting for that starting job against a background of uncertainty and external pressures. My take: distractions are real. This can impact preparation even if the talent is there. It's one thing to be a young quarterback in a competitive environment. It's another to have that environment become the spotlight of fan scrutiny and media frenzy. Speaking of scrutiny, for a team that's historically struggled with quarterback decisions, having Sanders tackle this situation head-on is critical. The Browns are notorious for their instability, and letting another golden opportunity slip through their fingers would only deepen the wounds of the loyal fans who've suffered through countless seasons of disappointment. Every move during this offseason feels magnified, and Sanders must rise above the noise and deliver. With all eyes trained on how he handles this unique challenge, it'll be interesting to see how he evolves through the process. The path to success isn't laid out clear for him, and every day in training camp will be a test of both skill and mental fortitude. Here we go, Brownies. It's time for Shedeur to prove whether he can rise to the occasion or get swallowed by it. The pressure is real, and so are the stakes as we approach the new season. The Cleveland Browns have faced a challenging stretch, feeling like their fate has been cursed since Baker Mayfield's departure and Deshaun Watson's arrival. But just when despair seemed to take root, there's a glimmer of hope brewing in the dog pound. One of the bright spots comes from their recent draft, particularly with round one wide receiver Casey Conception, who is already showing the kind of promise fans have been craving. Conception kicked things off right, making 2 appearances on the same day, one at the Cleveland Guardians game and another at the Cavaliers matchup. This kind of visibility and involvement in Cleveland sports is not just uplifting, it's essential for building that connection with the fans and fostering some much-needed optimism around the team. Let's be real, after so many question marks hanging over the franchise, having a dynamic player like Concepcion can signal a shift in momentum. In a season where past missteps still haunt the organization, this young talent represents a new direction and energy. The buzz around him could help rejuvenate not just the offense, but the entire locker room, especially as the Browns gear up for a competitive season ahead. With the right support, Concepcion could be a key contributor, potentially leading to more consistent performances, something we've been starved for amid the turmoil. As the team works to solidify its identity and shake off the past, watching how Conception integrates into the offensive scheme will be intriguing. The dog pound is hungry for success, and any signs of positivity, especially from a promising rookie, can only fuel the fire. This draft class is shaping up to be significant for the Browns, and fans have every reason to feel a little more hopeful. The truth is, this kind of detail is usually where the real direction of the team shows up first. The Browns' front office is undoubtedly feeling the heat as they navigate the murky waters surrounding Deshaun Watson. Despite the potential for a bounce-back season, insiders are adamant there's no chance the team will re-sign him once the season wraps up. This looming decision has fans in an uproar, especially with the grim recognition that Watson could still be the starting quarterback this season. For a franchise that's seen so much drama at the position, that thought sends a collective shiver through the dog pound. Watson's performance has been a catastrophe, leaving many supporters questioning the organization's long-term plans. What's even more concerning is how this uncertainty ripples through the locker room. The competition for QB dominance is fiercer than ever, though having Watson leading the charge adds an unsettling layer to team dynamics. The younger guys are watching closely, and every day in practice counts, but the influence of a veteran who has struggled can't be overlooked. There's an undeniable tension brewing, and you have to wonder what kind of message this sends to the players. Will they rally behind a struggling starter, or will they feel the weight of the franchise's past mistakes all over again? This is far from just a regular offseason. It's about rebuilding trust within the organization. As Cleveland fans, we've seen the consequences of poor choices before. My take: treat this as smoke until we get something concrete, but the timing matters. The way the front office handles Watson's situation could define the course of the season and the future of the team. It's a high-stakes game being played here, and the dog pound is ready for whatever comes next. Shedeur Sanders is feeling the heat more than ever. With Deshaun Watson reportedly leading the race for the starting quarterback spot, the pressure is on for Sanders to elevate his game. It's becoming clear that this competition is not just about talent, it's about who can handle the stress that comes with being under the spotlight in the dog pound. Fans have lit up social media, debating how this shakeup impacts the locker room dynamics. Will young players rally behind a veteran like Watson, or will they feel lost amid the pressure cooker created by this competition? This situation could define their season and has some wondering if it's just another reflection of the franchise's tumultuous history. Sanders' recent cryptic message has only fueled discussions among Browns Nation. It's a signal that he knows he needs to step up, especially when the stakes are so high. With the potential for Watson to take over, Sanders must find a way to assert himself. It's not just about proving his capabilities, it's about being the leader this team desperately needs. The clock is ticking, and how he navigates this critical juncture will determine not just his career, but the future direction of the team. Honestly, it's hard to ignore the grim specter of past mistakes hovering over these decisions. We've seen high draft picks come and go in a blink, and every move now feels like a gamble. The coaching staff knows this better than anyone, as they track every moment of practice closely. They're watching how Sanders responds to the pressure, not just as a quarterback, but as the glue that holds the roster together. For Brownies, stability is everything, and a bad decision right now could lead to yet another chapter in the franchise's saga of instability. As we push forward into the offseason, this quarterback battle is not just a hot topic. It's crucial for rebuilding trust with the fans. The dog pound deserves a fighting chance and some genuine excitement around the season ahead. Right now, it feels like every whisper in the locker room matters, and how these players communicate will impact everything. Relying on a quarterback with a shaky past adds an unsettling complexity to the mix. Sanders has to prove that he belongs in this competition, especially with the stakes amplifying by the day. Navigating this battlefield isn't just a test of skill, but a measure of mental toughness. With Deshaun Watson lurking, he'll have to show that all those high hopes attributed to him in the draft weren't misplaced. Here we go, Brownies. Sanders must rise to the occasion and prove he can hold his ground or risk becoming just another footnote in a long line of what could have been. The time for action is now, and the dog pound is ready for a quarterback who can finally break the cycle of disappointment.